Good morning, students. Today I want to teach you the third chapter's second part, that is the Black Aeroplane. This is in our first flight and class 10th syllabus. Okay. Now, the Black Aeroplane is written by Frederick Forsyth, and Frederick Forsyth is a spy. And before writing this book and in his life, he is a pilot. Okay. Here you got to know jet fighter pilot. Frederick Forsyth was born on 25 August 1938 in England. He is an English author, journalist, spy, and occasionally political commentator. This is a general information about the author. You have to remember these points. Before becoming a journalist, he joined the RAF and was a jet fighter pilot. RAF, this is the name of some kind of branch of Air Force. Okay. Now, the theme of the aeroplane. The story oscillated between miracle and the mystery. The story oscillated means revolving in between miracle and mystery. Why miracle and mystery? Because beta, miracle is like this, that when he entered into the storm, he sees a black aeroplane magically. So miraculously means magically he sees that black aeroplane. And mystery is that when he reached on the runway and when he go on the receptionist and she says like this, that on radar I am seeing only one single aeroplane and that is of your only. Okay, so that is the mystery here. The main character of the story is a pilot who is flying at night in his old Decatur aeroplane. Okay, we know, the main character is traveling from France to England. At night, he started his traveling. Okay, and here also written France to England. He dreamed of his holiday, and when he started his journey, he is having some kind of dream into his mind that 2-3 days I will spend holidays with my family, and at morning I will reach there and I will have some breakfast with my family. So into his eyes there is some dream. Okay, of spending the holiday and looking forward to meet his family. The story advised one not to lose hope during distressing time. So now the story tells us that if the difficult situation is there, don't lose hope into that particular difficult situation. Okay, face the challenge with courage and strength. Right, beta? Now let's revise the summary of the Black Aeroplane. Overall summary, if you got to know, then it is a useful, it is a more easy thing for you to understand the whole story. Okay, Black Aeroplane is a mysterious story written by Frederick Forsyth that revolve around pilot and his unprecedented adventure in space. Unprecedented means beta, unhappening, unimaginable adventure happened into the space. How unimaginable adventure? When he started his flying, he sees that the cloud is clear. But when he passed away from Paris, he sees a black aeroplane in front of him. Okay, so that is the unimaginable adventure in the space. The narrator wanted to be with his family and enjoy a wholesome breakfast with them in the England. So his dream is that he will have some breakfast in the England with his family. He had to fly from France to England to spend time with his family. Once he crossed Paris, he became across the stream, across the strong clouds. I told you that when he crossed the Paris, he is facing there a strong cloud that looked like black mountain. Okay. He's think that imagining that the black clouds are like the black mountains because in a vast area there are a black clouds. Okay. However, However, he flew through the clouds and soon realized that everything around him had turned completely black. When he go inside that black aeroplane, he took a risk. Then he found that the that around him all over completely black. Okay, nothing was visible to him outside the aeroplane, or as he lost as he lost control of it, because he lost control on it. Around everywhere there is a black aeroplane, so he is not having any control. He is not seeing that where the line is, where to go, in the right direction or in the left direction. He don't know about it. Okay, so he is little bit confused there. He was short on fuel too, and then he checked his fuel. Then he saw that the fuel is also less, and if he go back to the France, he is not having that much fuel. His focus continued to reach his family, as he had promised them to break fast, because his focus is only on his family, because he promised there. Maybe he called to his family and he promised to them that I will be have breakfast with you only. Suddenly, he noticed that there was another aeroplane with no light on its wing. And suddenly, maybe because of magic, maybe because of his imagination, he sees that there is another aeroplane who is having no light on its wings, flying next to him into the storm. And then he is imagining that there is another one black aeroplane is there, and the pilot is there, and pilot is doing waving him and doing a kind of a gesture that follow me. Okay, the pilot of that aeroplane waved his hand and signaled him to follow. He blindly followed the other pilot since the radio signal of his plane stopped working miraculously. Okay, now then he sees that the radio signal of his plane is also stopped. Miraculously, he passed through the dark clouds, and we don't know how magically he passed that particular dark clouds by following that black aeroplane. Okay, suddenly he noticed a row of light on the ground, and then he noticed that there is a row of light on the ground, and now it was the runway. Now he sees that that was a particular runway, and he will land his plane. Okay, and he had launched safely on the runway of an airport with the help of the other plane, who could now be seen nowhere. And he thinks that because of the help of that particular black aeroplane, I reached on the runway. Okay, so I am safe just because of that black aeroplane in the skies or along the runway. Upon a landing, he inquired, and then he go to the receptionist, and then he got a kind of an inquiry about the other pilot who helped him in a critical situation, as he wanted to thank him for saving his life. Okay, because he wanted to just say thank you just to save his life. But the women in the control room told him that there was no other aeroplane in the night sky other than this Dakota. Okay, she is not able to see any other aeroplane on the radar, because only one aeroplane is there on the radar. So that is the complete summary of the chapter, that is his black aeroplane. So let's start the timeline explanation of the black aeroplane. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. Now, it is about to night, so that's why he is talking about the moon, and he is saying like this, that stars are also shining in the summer days. If you see around 5 or 6 o'clock, or maybe 6:30 o'clock, there is a bright sun, and there is some stars also into the sky. Okay, so now he is saying clear sky above, so it is a good time to take off his flight. Okay, there was not a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone how about the sleeping countryside, and all the country peoples are sleeping, and I was flying over the country peoples, and I will reach there. Where reach? In England. Okay, I was flying my old Dakota, and the aeroplane name is Dakota. That one is old one. That's why he addresses him an aeroplane, old aeroplane over France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward. And then he looked on his watch, 1:30 in the morning. And then he do a kind of an estimate that at 1:30 a.m. maybe he reached into the England. Okay. I should call Paris control soon, I thought, as I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane. And then he called into the Paris control and then he asked about all these lines, that is, the line is clear, can I take off my aeroplane, like this, like this. A little inquiry he has to do before taking off. Okay. Land over. The voice from the radio. Answer me immediately. DS-088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12° west. DS-088 over. Okay, beta. After each and every conversation, they use this word over. Okay, and that reply is also he is having that around 12° you have to turn toward the west. Okay. Next one. I check the map and the compass, switch over to my second and last fuel tank and turn the Dakota 12° west toward the inland. And then he checked his map, his compass and checked his fuel tank also, and then he turned toward the west. I will be in the time for the breakfast. And then again he is thinking that, okay, at the time of the breakfast, I will be there into the England. I thought, a big English breakfast. And then he is imagining about the breakfast also, English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. Now he is away from the Paris about 150 kilometers. Okay, so storm cloud. Now, after 150 kilometers from the Paris, now here he is having a storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like the black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. Just to turn toward the north or the south, he is not having that much fuel. That's why now maybe he will take a risk. Okay. I ought to go back to Paris. Then he think to go back to the Paris, but I thought, but I want to get home. But he was again I will take the risk into the storm, and then he moved into that storm. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. Now he is stuck into that storm. I was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. Because of a lot of the storm, the aeroplane is sometimes jumping into the at the compass. I couldn't believe. And then he have a look on his compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. I was dead. The compass is also not working. Other instruments are also dead too. I tried the radio. Paris control. Can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. Because the radio is dead too, that's why there is no answer from the Paris control. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Because of the lot of the turn and twist, he is lost in his. Okay, otherwise he will maybe continue on that particular line. Okay. Then, in the black cloud, quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. Now, there is a hope. Now, from here, the magic happened that he sees the another airplane. I had no light on its wings. Means that particular airplane is not having any kind of light on his wings, but I could not see it flying next to me through the storm. When I am flying alone, I am not able to see him, but now I am able to see him that the black airplane is also running along with me. Okay, I can't see the pilot's face, so he is unable to see the face of the pilot. Turned toward me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Now, that person lifted hand. Wave means like this. Okay, and follow me, he was saying. And then what he said, he is doing some kind of gestures like this, that come, let's follow me. Follow me. He knows that I am lost. I thought he is trying to help me. Then he think that he is trying to help me. That's why he is saying, follow me. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota. Okay, so toward the north, they turned, and he don't know that whether the black aeroplane is showing him a right way or wrong way. He don't know, but as obedient student, as obedient child, he followed that black aeroplane. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Okay, and till half an hour, he follows that aeroplane, black aeroplane. Now there was only enough fuel in the whole Decatur last time to fly for 5 or 10 minutes. So only for fuel for 5 or 10 minutes, he is able to run that particular aeroplane for 5 or 10 minutes. I was starting to feel frightening again. Now again he is frightening. He is afraid that maybe my plan will crash. If the fuel will over, the plan will definitely crash. But then he started to go down, and I followed them through the storm. Now going down means maybe there is now the runway is there. Okay. Suddenly I came out of the cloud and saw 2 long straight lines of the light in front of me, and then 2 straight lines in front of him. Okay, like this only. It was a runway, an airport. Now it is a runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane. Then he says to the black aeroplane person, my friend, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. Okay, now after landing, sorry to walk away from the old Dakota means he is saying like this, that maybe I first landed and maybe he is gone somewhere else. So he is feeling kind of a sorry. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. So here he is asking about the another pilot. Now let's see what the girl said. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to that particular black aeroplane pilot. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in the storm, no other aeroplane were flying tonight. Space, was the only one I could see on the radar. So who helped me to arrive there? Okay, so these are the lines of the women. Now from here he says, so who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tank? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without light? So this is a question into each and every reader's mind, that who was that person by that. Okay, so let's discuss these questions in the next video. Thank you.